This podcast is a proud member of the Unidentified Network.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, live and in colour, it's Mr. Wayne Lovejuice.
The other day I produced a movie, had a track with an interesting chappie who said that the YouTube algorithms really are that happy. If a channel only broadcasts once a week, so we decided we could Xtra. Whenever we've got a piece of news in our new book on the track Xtra. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's John Downs. I'm the director of the Centre for Fortean Zoology, and welcome to another episode of On the Track Xtra. You may wonder why the picture quality is slightly different to normal, and you may wonder why I am in a car. Well, Graham, that's him there, as you all know. Graham has been taking me to Bideford for the first part of my annual review from my GP, and he has also been to Morrison's because we're going to have curry for tea. And I just thought it'd be quite nice to show you the lanes going into the village, the lanes in which I used to play when I was a boy and used to go catching butterflies. And also, because time is always short and getting shorter, and I have just spent a happy half hour in the car park of Morrison's trying to do the upgrades to the CFZ website and putting the latest news on, I thought I would share some of the news with you. First of all, there is a report of a lake monster in Albania. Well, Albania is a strange country. It's a country I know very little about, and most of what I do know either comes from Gerald Durrell's books about his childhood in Corfu, which of course is just off the Albanian coast, or comes from news stories about Albanian economic refugees causing havoc along the south coast of this fair-sceptred isle. First of all, let's just look at the location where this latest lake monster is claimed to exist. The Lake Prespa is located on the tri-point junction of North Macedonia, Greece and Albania, and it's a system of two lakes separated by an isthmus, the Great Prespa Lake and the Little Prespa Lake. The Great Prespa Lake is divided pretty well equally between the three countries, and the Little Prespa Lake is mostly within Greece. They're the highest tectonic lakes in the Balkans at an elevation of 853 metres. That's 2,799 feet for you in old money. The area contains three national parks: the Galicia National Park in North Macedonia, and the Prespa National Park in Albania, and the Prespa National Park in Greece. Just having a look around, seeing if there's anything else. Not surprisingly, Wikipedia doesn't tell you anything about the lake monster. That's because, as we all know, there are people in Wikipedia who do their best to destroy any mention of cryptozoology because they believe that it is a pseudoscience. And the way that many people within the cryptozoological community carry cryptozoology out it is a pseudoscience. The way we do it, I like to think it's a discipline akin to natural history. Now, I'm just going to read you the story. A Central European version of the Loch Ness Monster has been caught on camera. The creature was filmed in the Albanian section of the Great Prespa Lake, which is shared by Albania, Greece and Macedonia. The footage appears to show the head and neck of a huge creature emerging from the water. A previous video, allegedly, was filmed in the Greek section of the lake near the village of Navica 5 years ago. The new footage sparked an investigation by a party of journalists who were led on a tour of the lakeside by retired geography professor Sima Janowski. However, they failed to see any further sign of the monster in the area where it was seen near the Albanian tourist village of Pretor. While many locals believe in the legend of the monster of the lake, others think it's a giant catfish. Mr. Janowski, a non-believer who became the first man to swim across the lake back in 1970, said, "I remember when a ship sunk in Albania near Maligrad. A lot of children drowned in Prespa Lake. Then I found out that the divers who searched for them saw great catfish. They were so scared that they stopped the search. I think that it was one of the catfish that the Greek fishermen saw." And he added, sometimes things happen in Prespa Lake that don't happen in other lakes. When I was a teacher in 1976, he continues, I saw a large pillar of water rising near the border with Greece, shaped like a mushroom. It came down only after 10 to 15 minutes. And that, basically, ladies and gentlemen, is all we have. What do you think of this? If this picture is actually showing a huge unknown animal, it's certainly not a catfish, because catfish don't swim with their heads out of the water like that. If it is a hoax, then it's a reasonably competent one, but I've seen better. If it's an unknown animal, what can it be? What do you think it is? Answers, please, in the description below. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think the moral of this story could be don't trust what you read in the Daily Mail, because I found several anomalies in their story. First of all, if you look at the Daily Mail story, the monster was, quote, filmed in the Greek section of the lake near the village of Navica 5 years ago. Well, the village was not called Navica, it was called Nivica. The village of Navica is nowhere near the lakes. It's actually in the middle of rural Albania somewhere, and Nivica is, or was, a village on the shores of the lakes. But it's not been called Navica since 1927. This is absolutely bollocks, rubbish journalism. And with journalism of the quality of this, where people just pretty well make stuff up and go along with every half-assed forgery, no wonder that being a journalist is now somewhere a little bit lower in the public consciousness than being a turd counter in a sewage farm. But we do have good news for you. Over to me yesterday in the car. Now, we also have what I think is the most impressive for a long time Loch Ness Monster sighting. And guess what? It comes once again from our old friend Owen O'Fadigan. I've been fairly rude over the years. Here we are, we're coming down, by the way, we're coming down to a place called Cranford, which is where, if any of you have read my writings on the subject, where there is a legend of a water horse and where also there is ghosts, in fact 2 ghosts. But I'm getting diverted. Owen O'Fadigan is somebody that I've often been scathing about because he spends more time than anybody else watching the Loch Ness webcams, and most of the images which he gets are fairly blurry and indistinct, and I've been not very complimentary about them. But the latest video does indeed, like it says in the newspapers, show an object speeding off across the surface of the water like a torpedo. I don't think it is a torpedo. Occam's razor says that it's probably some sort of waterfowl, but it's a very interesting piece of video, and Owen should be commended for having taken it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the end of another episode, and I'm very glad that this episode is finished, because it has been a total twatting nightmare. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. On top of which, I didn't realise quite how badly my hands would function with carpal tunnel syndrome in cold weather, and I can't do anything. It's awful. So, on the advice of Miss Isabel, that's here. Say hello to the boys and girls, Miss Isabel. Say hello. I don't think you can hear me. Can you hear me, Miss Isabel? Hello.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay. And on the advice of Miss Isabel, that's her there. Say hello to the boys and girls, Miss Isabel.
Hello.
I wore gloves, and these are gloves, fingerless gloves, which the lovely Miss Guinevere gave me for Christmas years ago. And I usually wear them in the winter, and I completely forgot this winter because I'm becoming a senile old git. Since I've had the gloves on, I can use my trackball, which I have instead of a mouse for my computer, because my hands are pretty ropey anyway, slightly better than I could yesterday when I could not use it at all. So, hopefully things are going to be on the up and up. I'm going to be back on Saturday, and hopefully next Saturday's episode is going to be better, or at least easier to do than this one has been. So, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Miss Isabel.
Bye.
And as long as you're all watching on Saturday, I'll be there doing the live chat and the notifications and all the other crapulence which I do at a weekend, and I'll be seeing you.